have a big obstacle here in order to fix Wild Force. Gaoranger itself isn't good. The characters are the problem. Gaoranger's thing was about keeping the Rangers' past mainly a secret, including to each other. I just never understood why they went there. They didn't refer to their real names, always their colors. The backstories for some, like Gaku's, did get done, which is why Taylor's background is the best out of the other four. The rest of them had just one or two character traits, and that's it. Try to describe Alyssa, Danny, and Max without referencing schooling, and never give up. There's not much else. It gets more frustrating when the season ends and the Gaorangers go on with their lives. All the stuff you wanted to see happens off screen. Gaoranger kind of felt like the writers were burnt out from Time Ranger, so they went simple and just focused on monsters, mecha, and spirit elements. Maybe it was because they had too many power animals to use. Either way, Power Rangers had an open canvas to these characters. They came up with Cole's stuff, which was great. I just wish they had done it with everyone, especially Max. There's also a few other things that needed some work, like Kite and Princess Shayla. Thank you, Victor Maricito Garate Joe, for the suggestion. If you have an idea or topic, leave a comment down below. I might pick it one day.
Change Animus's test.
I wasn't particularly fond of Kite and the whole Animus Megazord stuff, but I won't be changing him. What I want to fix was the logic thrown onto the Rangers and the Orgs. Kite was this naive kid who lost his memory that had a strange power, which the Orgs were trying to exploit. Kite got disgusted with the humans and the Rangers over how the planet was being abused, so he took the power animals away, leaving the team on their own. We know this was a secret test to see if the Rangers would do anything for the planet. I think that wasn't fair to begin with. They've shown they do care many times over. Did the 20-odd episodes before not count? It's also showing Animus ignoring the Wild Force Zords. They're alive too. They chose these people, probably at birth. If Animus can't trust his own people, he's not a good leader. The problem I had was, to prove the Rangers were worthy, people had to die. Animus is a hypocrite. He ended up helping the Orgs kill people indirectly. Him taking the power animals away does not help the world. There's a simple change that could have been done for this to go away. Put Kite's test in their minds. Instead of risking real lives, he puts the Rangers and Shayla in a deep sleep where everything happens while Animus is protecting the city himself. This way, he gets friendly points and doesn't come off as a know-it-all jerk. And it uses the reset button in a positive way. To deal with the lack of Sentai footage, I would have had Kite turn into Animus, but at human scale. That way, the US team could shoot stuff without needing to film city fights. It would show Animus had a few different abilities than the Wild Zords could do. Test the humans, but not at the cost of lives and the environment. The test made Animus look like an idiot.
Fix Princess Shayla's personality.
This is a big one. Princess Shayla was similar to how Tentomu was in Gaoranger. The problem? She was way over the top. Shayla went too far in the cheesy acting range. She would be overly dramatic, explain things too much, and she hardly did anything. This was the fault of the directors. They told her to act like this. Another issue was that she felt more like Alpha than Zordon. I'm not saying Alpha is unimportant, but Shayla would do so little, she'd go below even Alpha's use in some cases. Shayla is supposed to be Zordon. You gotta have that presence. She just needed something more. When Merick came in, you'd think that would have helped. It kind of made things worse. Shayla needed to be less bubbly and hyper goody two-shoes, help the Rangers out. She can fight. They had the moment with Toxica. You can easily expand that into a rivalry between the two. That could have been done for the US material. Use Toxica's powered up form as a side story. Princess Shayla could have gotten a costume upgrade from, say, the Soulbird, at the cost of the power from the Wild Force Megazord. Shayla could have worked with Jinrax in rescuing Toxica. Then they go after her in the mirror. They could have explored the past with her, like she was the one who figured out Master Org's plan. Help Cole see what happened to his parents. The magic water could have had other properties. Shayla could have been the one who brought back Zenaku and cleansed his evil by putting the mask in the water. There's many things they could have added. Basically, she needed to be like Udana.
Master Org transforms into the generals.
Master Org is the most important person, bar Cole. Gaoranger caused the problem here. This was one of those seasons that did the rotating villains thing, like what happened in Megaforce. This made Master Org end up stuck inside the cave set, with generals doing stuff for him. They should have just had Master Org turn into the first two generals so that he stays on the battlefield. It fits in what they do in the finale, and it'd be a better way to explain why he was drained rather than just the mid-season fight with him and Cole. It also fixes a plot hole developed from the problem with the orcs not remembering Master Org's appearance. They kept cherry-picking who remembered what when the plot needs to move. If you could just absorb the monster that's released from the stone, Master Org can keep the secret longer and be in the Sentai footage.
Orcs versus Master Org.
This never went anywhere. The whole big moment with Master Org was that reveal of him being human, so the orgs disowned him, going with Mandalok. Master Org ends up vanishing for a chunk of episodes. That was a wasted opportunity to create a rift in the Org forces. What they could have done, instead of dropping Master Org for the Sentai footage, some orgs could have joined him. He ate the seeds. Granted, orgs hate humans, but the seeds are still real Master Org. He is your leader. Are the orgs saying that Master Org chose the wrong host? A few of the generic monsters, like say some of the ones that they didn't use in Wild Force, go with him, protect him, bring him back to full strength so we can keep following him while Mandalok screws everything up. They could have even used Toxica's death to trick Jindrax into joining the other side, where he eventually gets confused on who to trust. This imbalance would keep going on till Master Org came back.
Keep Zenaku with Merick.
When Wild Force ended, we were left with Zenaku and Merick going off on their path together. That could have been easily used in the season. There's so many unanswered questions with that mask. Where did it come from? What was it? It's not just a mask. Zenaku exists as a physical form separate from Merick. They could have done a ton of things with him. Princess Shayla could have released his spirit, where she could have looked over him in the animarium. He could have atoned with what he did. He was mysterious, dark, a layered character. He's the only one who could get under Merick's skin. It would have been interesting to see them team up, argue, get along, complain over stuff, even help out in those final episodes. Gaoranger came up with something cool, then just threw him away.
Add to the main cast's backstory.
This is the number one reason why Gaoranger and Wild Force failed for me. Every Sentai NPR season has had this issue where some characters just get ignored. Wild Force, on top of this, added annoyances. When a character had something, Danny with Kendall, Shayla with Zenaku and Merick, these went nowhere. They either ended or just got ignored. Nothing was explored. So you had characters that had a start, ended up being nothing by the middle of the season. Everyone kept feeling like they were on episode 1 while Cole was going through 20 more episodes. These stories should have kept going. Kendall could have been Danny's girlfriend. She could have helped him overcome his awkwardness. Shayla and Merick could have helped out Zenaku. Alyssa could have been special, where she had a more closer bond with the power animals, thanks to her knowledge from schooling and her father's martial arts teachings. She obsessed over the elephant sword. She was able to track Zenaku. Too bad she couldn't obsess over it more so the toy got released. Max was the worst off. He was treated like a kid, just having the never give up thing with Danny. He did love bowling. They could have used that episode to say Max ran away from life, becoming a young adult got him scared. He hid away in bowling stores. That's why he held on to those kid aspects. So the Shark Zord chose him to try to help him out. That's why he was attached to Danny. Saw him as a brother, ironically helping out Danny with his problems he was going through himself. I always get disappointed when you see the writer's room on Power Rangers come up with this interesting background for Cole. They did Forever Red, they brought back the Time Force cast, but when it came to everything else, everyone just put their hands up and went, copy the Sentai. That's a gamble on itself, because the Sentai isn't invincible. They have seasons that mess up too, seasons that have difficult ideas brought over here. It can't be used as a crutch. Wild Force isn't the lowest the series has gotten, it's just not enjoyable to me. But that doesn't mean I shun all the seasons I hate. That's not fair either. If a character returns, I'll always be open to them. Anyone can get a second chance. What are your thoughts on Wild Force and its characters? It was hard to come up with stuff for these characters, but not impossible. New episodes Monday. Next week, I want to talk about on ways to fix the second half of the Time Force cast.